If you grew up in Nigeria in the 90s or early 2000s, stepping through the doors of this restaurant meant one thing. You achieved something legendary. Maybe you came first in your class, or it is your birthday, or maybe your father just came back from a long business trip holding that iconic branded Mr. Bigg's bag. In the late 90s, this company possessed a monopoly almost so absolute. With over 170 branches across Nigeria and Ghana, it processed more daily customers than almost any corporate retail chain on the African continent. It had infinite cash, prime real estate on every major corner, and the total emotional devotion of millions of Nigerians. Today, that multi-million naira empire is almost a ghost town. But this is not a tragic story about a business failing due to bad economy, because how does a business with a literal head start, infinite corporate backing, and total emotional lock-in over millions of people lose the plot? This is a cold, calculated autopsy of how a corporate titan weaponized its own success to destroy itself from the inside out. Grab your notepad. I am Danica Kosy, and this is the Mogul Breakdown. To understand how Mr. Bigg's declined, we have to look at how it was born. And surprisingly, it didn't start with a passionate street chef or a local entrepreneur. It started inside a corporate boardroom, specifically the board of United African Company, UAC of Nigeria. In the 1960s, UAC ran the famous Kingsway department stores. In order to keep shoppers inside the building longer, they opened small in-store coffee shops selling basic snacks. By 1973, these little coffee shops became so profitable that UAC spun them off into an independent brand called Kingsway Rendezvous, introducing pastries to cater to the growing middle class of post-independent oil boom in Nigeria. By mid-1980s, the global landscape was shifting. The quick service restaurant model, or QRS, was dominating the West. So UAC realized they already had the real estate, the supply chains, and the cash. All they needed was a brand that felt modern, fast, and aspirational. So in August 1986, the very first official Mr. Bigg's outlet was opened in Lagos State, Nigeria by this organization. The reaction was explosive. Nigerians had never seen anything like it. It was clean, it was air-conditioned, and it felt international. Because they inherited massive real estate footprints from their department store days, Mr. Bigg's locked down the best corner properties in every major Nigerian city. From 1990 to roughly 2005 or 2008, they were completely untouchable, and they did this by mastering three core things. First, let's be honest, nobody went to Mr. Bigg's for complex homemade meals. Most people went there for the meat pie, the golden buttery crust, the perfectly seasoned minced meat and potato filling. It was a culinary benchmark, to the extent that if a local bakery made a perfect meat pie, the highest praise they could receive was, "It tastes like Mr. Bigg's meat pie." They owned the snack culture of a generation. Second, they became the birthday capital of Nigeria. Before the era of elaborate event centers, if you wanted to throw its birthday party, you booked the designated party room in Mr. Bigg's. And that cemented the brand directly into the emotional nostalgia of millions of children. And third, it was an absolute status symbol. Taking a date to Mr. Bigg's in 1998 meant you have arrived. Mr. Bigg's became a public demonstration of financial security. UAC had built a literal money printing machine, but inside that massive success lay the seeds of its destruction. Now let's talk about the exact moment the empire cracked. It was because of a single fatal corporate decision, the franchise trap. By the early 2000s, Mr. Bigg's was a victim of its own success. Demand was skyrocketing and investors were banging on UAC doors, begging for a piece of the action. UAC had two choices to scale. Choice 1, spend their own corporate cash, buy land, build stores slowly, and retain 100% control. Or choice 2, the franchise model. Sell the brand name to wealthy individuals. Let them spend the money, let them build the stores. So they chose choice 2. To scale past 100 locations without burning through their own capital, they made a strategic decision. They shifted heavily from corporate-owned store to a franchising model. On paper, it sounds brilliant. Local investors pay you massive upfront fees to use your name, buy your ingredients, and build your stores. In that way, you get rapid expansion with zero capital risk. But then in reality, it was the beginning of the end. I forgot the golden rule of fast food. Franchising scales your success, no doubt, but it also scales your flaws. And then again, fast food does not sell food, it sells predictability. When you walked into the same restaurants anywhere in the world, you expect the same taste. But Mr. Biggs failed to police its franchises. You want the exact same products and the exact same taste in Enugu, Ibadan, Lagos, anywhere in the country, right? And to achieve that, you need a military-grade quality control. Mr. Biggs completely failed to police its franchises, leading to 3 deadly operational failures. First, to aggressively protect their margins, independent operators started cutting corners and sourcing local cheap ingredients. The meat pie recipes fractured. One branch gave you premium beef, and the next gave you potato filler and empty air. Second, the infrastructure blackouts. Running giant diesel generators to beat Nigeria's power grid is incredibly expensive. Franchise owners began turning off the air conditioners and turning off the chillers, so suddenly customers were walking into premium priced restaurants, sweating and eating lukewarm foods. During the course of this research, I came across a customer comment, a customer who said he once walked into a Mr. Biggs restaurant and met them using candles to brighten the space. Third, the investor mismatch. Licenses were sold to wealthy people who viewed the restaurant as a passive cash cow. But then fast food is a game of centimeters. It requires active owner-operators on ground, watching the styles and policing the kitchen to make sure everything is in order. Your brand equity is only as strong as your weakest outlets. A consumer doesn't say, oh, Yaba branch is bad, but the one in Banana Island is doing very great. They walk into just one bad outlet and they say your restaurant is now terrible. By giving up operational control without building an absolute auditing hammer, USA didn't just expand their business, they weaponized their own partners to dilute their brand. So by mid-2000s, the giant was already limping, trapped in a franchise nightmare of its own making. And in the world of business, when a king bleeds, the wolves don't wait, they attack. The first major cracks in the empire didn't come from abroad. They came from local, highly innovative rivals. First came Sweet Sensation in 1994, followed by Tantalizers in 1997. These 2 brands did something Mr. Biggs was so corporate and so stiff to realize. They Africanized the menu. While Mr. Biggs was still treating fast foods purely as British pastry shop, relying strictly on meat pies and scotch eggs, Sweet Sensation and Tantalizers brought local soul to the kitchen. They introduced proper jollof rice, fried plantains, and traditional swallows into clean, air-conditioned spaces. Suddenly, Mr. Biggs wasn't just losing market shares, they were losing the culture war. But if Sweet Sensation and Tantalizer broke down the gates of the kingdom, it was a newer upstart that walked in and took the crown. Then Chicken Republic entered in 2004. So Chicken Republic looked at the entire landscape and realized everyone was missing the real price. Mr. Biggs assumed you would stay loyal because of the nostalgia. The local competitors assumed you wanted massive varieties. But Chicken Republic realized the modern consumers wanted extreme affordability, and they were about to launch a price that would change the industry forever. Chicken Republic didn't just beat Mr. Biggs with better branding. They used economic concepts called loss leader pricing and value engineering, and it acted like a financial chokehold on the entire legacy market. Think about how Mr. Biggs operated. Their menu was strictly a la carte. If you wanted a meal, you bought a meat pie, paid separately for a drink. So as inflation hit Nigeria and purchasing power shrank, a single trip to Mr. Biggs felt like a luxury. Chicken Republic engineered the refuel package. They bundled a massive portion of rice or spaghetti, a standard piece of fried chicken, and a drink into one single shockingly cheap price point. To the average student, worker, or commuter, the psychology was instant. For the price of just 2 snacks at Mr. Biggs, you could get a mountain of real food at Chicken Republic. But how did Chicken Republic survive selling food at such an incredibly cheap price while inflation was skyrocketing? This is where Mr. Biggs' franchise model completely backfired. Because Mr. Biggs had dozens of independent franchise owners sourcing their own ingredients locally, they had zero bulk purchasing power. Chicken Republic, on the other hand, corporate controlled their entire supply chain, buying poultry, rice, spices in massive industrial volume directly from primary suppliers to achieve massive economies of scale. Mr. Bigg's Tantalizer and Sweet Sensation were trapped in massive buildings, burning millions of naira daily on diesel. Chicken Republic stopped building giant dining halls. They pioneered the express model, tiny hyper-efficient buildings attached to gas stations with low overhead, low electricity bills, and massive foot traffic. They took all the money they saved on rent, electricity, and bulk ingredients and poured it directly into the refuel package. It was a mathematical trap. If the old king tried to lower their prices to compete, their massive overhead would cause them to bleed out. If they kept their prices high, Chicken Republic stole their entire crowd. In late 2009 and 2012, international brands like KFC and Domino's Pizza entered Nigeria. They did massive advertisements, collaborated with celebrities. The competition was so stiff. So all this combination of internal and external pressures created a perfect storm that Mr. Biggs was ill-equipped to fight. And before you know it, the brand has already gone down. By 2013, South Africa's famous brands bought a 49% stake to rescue the business. By this point, the national footprint had already shrunk and they could do little to nothing. So is Mr. Biggs totally dead? Did they completely shut down? The answer is no. But the corporate strategy they are using right now to survive is absolutely fascinating. If you check their active digital footprint, you will notice a massive structural shift. The company has essentially abandoned the old model of aggressive national expansion. Out of the 170 plus mega outlets they once owned, they have shrunk down to a highly condensed network of surviving locations. Primarily, just a small handful of updated flagship stores in Lagos, according to what is currently on their Instagram page. They are running on lean survivor rebrand. From what I noticed on their Instagram page, it looks like they bypassed the traditional delivery apps. Instead of paying massive commissions to third-party delivery platforms, Mr. Biggs is pushing direct WhatsApp and phone ordering. They also appear to have finally accepted a value pricing war. If you look at their modern combos, they are aggressively pushing targeted budget tier meals under 3,000 or slightly above 3,000, building things like their classic meat pies with a drink to create an immediate cost shield against inflation. So what we are witnessing right now is not a standard expansion. It is a tactical corporate retreat. They are shrinking their footprint, shedding their bad franchise liability, and attempting to stabilize the brand around high margin, low overhead digital sales. It is actually a smart modern pivot, but it leaves us with the ultimate question: can digital convenience and budget combos make a new generation forget 20 years of brand dilution? Let us hear your thoughts in the comment section. The story of Mr. Biggs is not just a fun trip down memory lane. It is a stark, high-stakes warning for anyone building a business in an emerging market. It teaches us that pioneering a market means absolutely nothing if you cannot adapt to it. For the Mogul tribe, this breakdown gives us 4 powerful lessons for business survival. Number 1, control your quality before you scale. Many business owners rush to expand by letting others open branches in their name. But remember, expansion without strict daily control is just a brand suicide. If you delegate your operations to partners, you must build a ruthless auditing system first. Because if a customer has a terrible experience at one franchise branch, they won't blame the local manager. They will cancel the entire branch. And that is not the only thing. They are going to tell someone that will tell another person that will tell another person about their bad experience. Lesson 2, pay your overhead costs before it kills your business. Big fancy offices and massive storefronts looks good for your ego, but they can aggressively destroy your cash flow. Mr. Biggs was structurally suffocated by the massive rents and diesel costs needed to power their dining halls. In a tough economy, high efficiency, small footprint models, or online first delivery will always outsurvive heavy traditional setups. Lesson 3, engineer value or get priced out. When inflation's hit and your customers have less money in their pockets, staying stubborn with your old price architecture will run you out of business. But then don't just raise your prices blindly. Value engineer your offers. Bundle a high margin product with a low margin necessity to create an irresistible all-in-one package before your competitors does it to you. Lesson number 4, fall in love with your market, not your product. Now, being the pioneer gives you an advantage, but it can breed dangerous corporate complacency. You start to feel too relaxed, like you are too full of yourself because you think you are untouchable. You cannot assume consumers will stay loyal simply out of sentiments. Your consumer taste, pockets, and habits change daily. Never stop listening to what the market wants today, because nostalgia won't pay your operating expenses, but continuous innovation will. Today, Mr. Biggs is fighting a quite fascinating battle for survival from the shadows of the markets they once ruled with an iron fist. But then it leaves us with the ultimate question: can digital convenience, targeted rebrands, and budget combos actually save them? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What was your exact go-to order at Mr. Biggs back in the day? And do you think this their modern digital strategy can actually resurrect the brand? What do you think Mr. Biggs need to do differently to stand out in today's market? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments below. Now, like this video, please subscribe to the channel because it takes an incredible amount of research and editing to put this together. And when you do not forget to turn on your notification bell so you get notified anytime we upload a new video, because in our next episode of the Mogul Breakdown, we are shifting the spotlight, and trust me, it is going to be a very interesting episode. I am Danica Kosy, and I will see you all in the next episode of the Mogul Breakdown.